is set to deliver his second State of the Union address in front of a newly divided Congress and, of course, the American people. That is coming up tonight.
And this comes as a new CBS News poll indicates many Americans have a negative view of the country right now. Joining us this morning to break it all down and what we can expect to see tonight, Mercyhurst University's political analyst, Dr. Joe Morris.
Yeah, Dr. Joe, thanks so much for coming by this morning. Let's talk first about the biggest difference from last year's State of the Union to this year's, and that is that divided Congress that the speech is going to be delivered to.
Yeah, it certainly makes it more challenging for the president to do what he wants to do. We have a Republican Party right now that is really being controlled by its most extreme elements, the farthest right we can go. So Joe Biden has a real uphill battle in the next year. And this is particularly important given that we have a presidential election looming.
And knowing that a majority of Americans, or Democrats even, don't want the current president to run for re-election, what kind of weight is that putting on his shoulders?
Yeah, it's certainly a challenge. Joe Biden is incredibly popular if you just ask people how do you think the nation is doing, particularly Democrats. Democrats tend to be very happy with how things are going in the nation. But what's more challenging for him is that most people have they're ambivalent when it comes to their feelings about him as a person.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the expectations of what he's going to talk about. We're hearing that there aren't really going to be any new policy initiatives that might be rolled out, but we're talking about just kind of trying to comfort the American public, certainly discussing the latest with that Chinese spy balloon as well.
Yeah, if anything, the American public needs to be comforted. This year, there's absolutely no shortage of things for the president to talk about. If we just think internationally, the United States is heavily invested in the war in Ukraine, a war that's being waged against a nuclear superpower.
Sure.
And we have, as you mentioned, the Chinese spy balloon, which amounts to, if it turns out to be a spy balloon, a brazen violation of U.S. sovereignty. But then you throw in domestic issues like immigration, the debt ceiling, police brutality. There's no shortage of issues that the president can talk about, and the American public is longing for that, I think.
So if you were giving advice to the president on exactly what to really drill down and focus on tonight, what would it be? 2 or 3 points, perhaps?
I would certainly love to give some advice to the president. I would say probably he really has to focus on that Ukraine issue. The Republicans are very hesitant to write what they call blank checks to the Ukrainian government, but we want to keep that aid flowing. This is a major issue. This is the largest war that we have seen in Europe since World War II, and it's something that the United States has a significant stake in.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Mercyhurst University political analyst Dr. Joe Morris joining us this morning, and we'll see you back again here tomorrow morning post the speech tonight.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Thank you in advance for that, and certainly looking forward to it.